My friend Dan Bongino is heading to the FBI, and this is awesome. And it's absolutely terrifying to the establishment. I mean, they are so darn worried. The media's freaking out. I saw PBS losing it. I saw MSNBC losing it. And then I saw their little media reporter. And I mean little. I mean, like I'm 5'7", so with heels, I'm probably a good 5'10", 5'11". And he comes up to like here on me. Little, but round. Guy on CNN who covers the media for them. He was going on. He's just like dissing Bongino. I don't think he's ever met Bongino. Like Bongino is salt of the earth, one of the best people in this business. This little turd, not so much.
Trump likes figures right out of central casting, and Bongino fits the bill. He became a big star on Fox News during the first Trump term. He was saying all the things Trump wanted to hear, including denigrating the FBI. You know, he's a macho figure, someone who's out there trying to pick fights and stoke fights. And that's the thing about Bongino. The incentives for television and radio and podcasting are very different than the incentives for government service. You know, Bongino was incentivized to throw punches, to channel people's rage and resentments, to stoke fears, to promote conspiracy.
Oh, like you weren't. Just saying. I mean, let's be honest here, Brian. What do you think? I mean, it was disgusting watching you on television, aside from how you look. It was disgusting what we heard coming out of his mouth. He was like little Jeff Zucker mini-me, right? I think that's the only reason he got the job. Nasal voice and all. I mean, just a disaster on television. Fortunately, they have him now back in print, occasionally doing these guest spots. But he was somebody who promoted all kinds of conspiracy theories. Not my friend Dan. By the way, Dan, he's been right on everything. Positively spot on, right about everything. And he was worried about the same things I was during March 2020. Like me, the Hunter laptop, which turned out to be the Hunter laptop that these folks like the turd you just saw wanted you to think was nothing but fake news. I mean, it's astonishing to me that they still think that they can sing that song and dance that dance. But I'll tell you, with Kosh and Dan now at the FBI, things are going to change. And there's a lot of people that are going to be investigated. One of them is going to be Adam Schiff. And you know how I know that? Because Dan has made Adam Schiff a big part of his platform from a whole long time. You know what? He doesn't like what Adam did on the whole Russia thing. I mean, he threw out a whole faulty story there that he knew was fake, he knew was false, and yet he fed that night after night after night, day after day after day. I mean, think about the time that was wasted. And you know what? This shouldn't happen to anybody. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. You don't need the Adam Schiff corrupt individuals in this world maliciously trying to create fake news to try to take you down. And I know Dan's going after Adam because, well, I mean, aside from the fact that I know him and he will, he said this. He said this on one of his last shows before he just got named to the FBI. Here we go.
Particularly good mood today. If you only knew. You ever hear that House on Fire song? It's one of his old songs. This guy's on fire, just like the Bailey song. That house on fire. He is on fire, Schiff. Well, 100% success rate of failing. Why is Adam Schiff so worried? Folks, I strongly encourage you to go back and take another look today at the Russia collusion hoax. I know it's a story that's old and a lot of people want to move on. I'm going to be straight with you. I don't want to move on. We had the FBI in conjunction with the Department of Justice, officials in Congress, foreign governments, and intel people fabricate a story, invent a story that could have caused and done serious long-term harm to international relations with a nuclear-powered foe. It's kind of a big freaking deal. I'm not letting it go. And you listen to me. This is going to be very important in the coming days. I'm not letting this go. I want to find out what happened because it can never happen again. Not to a Democrat, not to a Republican, not to a Libertarian, not to any United States citizen. You do not get to alter or try to change the course of electoral politics by fabricating a story, hijacking the justice system then to give the patina of truth to a fake story. You don't get to do that. Why do I bring that up now? Because who is the ringmaster of that circus? Yes, Adam Schiff. And no, I'm not letting it go.
Mm-hmm. So you wonder why Adam's freaking out right now? Totally losing it, going nuts because cash is there. And now you get Dan Bongino on top of it. You wonder why PBS is freaking out and MSNBC is freaking out and CBS is freaking out and ABC is freaking out. And of course, CNN, as we just saw. Because Adam Schiff is doing something inappropriate in his pants. I saw that, you guys. I saw the comment. Yeah, I know. We can't help it, right? Shifty shift. The puns just keep on coming. But you know what? He's a bad guy who did some bad stuff. And you know what? It should all get exposed. It needs to be exposed. You know what else needs to be exposed? Hillary Clinton's role in all this. Because think about this. Hillary Clinton is the one that floated all that misinformation, the so-called dirty dossier from Russia. The Russia tape, remember, that allegedly Putin had on Donald Trump? They made that whole thing up. All of it. And I've read the Mueller report. I've read volumes 1 and 2, okay? I also read the dossier when it first came out. And I was like, this is nuts. Like, this doesn't read like an intelligence document. It actually reads like something I'd see in Star Magazine, plastered all over the supermarket counter. Because when you read it, it actually read not at all like a piece of intelligence, but as what it was, which was opposition research, political opposition research. And so that particular report, I think, was just extraordinarily damning in that they were able to manipulate the system. They were able to use that piece of fiction, which Hillary Clinton's law firm, Perkins Coie, bought, commissioned from Fusion GPS, which was a group of ex-investigative reporters. Real investigation that they were doing. I mean, like, what are these people up to, right? They're like hitmen. We just make up stuff and like throw it out there and see what happens. So they go out and they get this Christopher Steele, the ex-British spy who used to cover Moscow and ran like the Moscow bureau for the UK. And they go dig up a bunch of crapple. They didn't even dig it up. I stand corrected. They made it up. They made it up with false sources and all kinds of innuendo and all this nonsense. And then they ran it up the food chain so that they could get a FISA warrant so that they could tap the phone lines at Trump Tower. That's messed up. Okay? That is wrong. And that can't ever happen again. So I'm with Dan. I'm not over any of this. I'm not over Clinton. I'm not over Schiff. I'm not over any of it until we know for sure what really went on. I mean, I think we know. We know exactly what went on, but I think some people need to pay the price. Oh, and there's more. Because Hillary's not out of the woods even with that just yet. Quick reminder, if you haven't signed up for my financial research, please do that. 76 Research. My gift to you, code word dollar. We're running a special, but I talk about it every day because I just want you all to have this. It's really, really, really good stuff. And I want you to be able to partake in the greatness that is coming for our economy. I really fundamentally believe that. And it's sometimes hard, I get it, as an investor to know what to invest in. Well, we're here for you. I've spent my whole career, first in finance and then obviously in financial news. And my co-founder at 76, Rob Horton, has spent 2 decades running billions of dollars. So between the two of us, we know a thing or two. And we do have some good ideas that I'd like to share with you. You can get it for code word dollar for the first 2 months. It goes to $9.95 thereafter. You can also get the model portfolios. Check these out because we have 10 to 15 names in each one of these. You get American Resilience, Inflation Protection, Income Builder portfolio. You can get them all if you join our Founders Club. So that's actually the best value. But it is important to be thinking about yourself and your own future at a time like this.